This is funny. So Assassin's Creed Unity is going to run at 900p at 30 frames per second on both the PS4 and Xbox One. Well, that's fine. That's okay. I really don't care. That's not a big deal. That's what they decided to do, right? They decided to make it run like that. But then we get a little explanation of what's going on over here. They said this. Ubisoft said this. We decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debates and stuff. What? You decided to lock them so people won't debate, but yet you announced that you locked them to cause a debate? Did that just defeat the whole purpose of what you said, what you're trying to do? Like, Ubisoft just doesn't get it. I really don't understand Ubisoft. I honestly think Ubisoft is like right there. They're right next to EA. They're going to surpass EA as the worst company soon. They're like right there. The whole thing with Watch Dogs, what they did to the PC, they held it back and stuff like that. They throttled it down. They're right there. Right there. Right behind EA. Right there. And then the next thing they say, we could be running at 100 frames per second. Really? Really? You could run at 100 frames per second? When? In what world are any of these consoles going to run anything 100 frames per second? But because of the AI, we're limited to 30 frames. So the AI is holding you back from 100 frames and you drop all the way down to 30 frames because the AI. What AI do you have in this game right now? I can't wait to see the AI in this game because this must be the most amazing AI in the world. If you're telling me that you could have been running 100 frames per second without the AI. Bullshit, Ubisoft. Bullshit. Bull. I call bull. And I forgot to read the one on top of it, but it says quickly bottlenecked by CPU power. Since it's a CPU and not the GPU that has to run systems like crowds on the screen and artificial intelligence. So what they're trying to say is that one of these consoles, right, is holding back the other console. But it's not what you think. It's not the Xbox One is holding back the PS4. What they're claiming in this is pretty much the PS4 is holding back the Xbox One, because what they're saying is that it's all about the CPU power, and one of the consoles doesn't have a high enough CPU. And if you look at the CPU, the Xbox One has 1.75 gigahertz, while the PS4 has 1.6. So what they're saying is the PS4 is holding back the Xbox One? Interesting. So you're telling me that you have that much AI in this game that's holding back the consoles from 900p 30 frames per second to possibly 1080p 30 frames per second? Bullshit, Ubisoft. Bullshit. Like, that is complete BS, and you know that's BS. You know it. You know it's BS. That's not even close to being true. Now, will games be run the same on both consoles? It could. I definitely think it could when they program it right. But for the most part, you're going to see PS4 games running better than the Xbox One on multiplayer. It's going to happen. It's been happening the whole time, and it's going to keep happening. But you'll never, and I'm telling you right now, never going to see the Xbox One version running better than the PS4 unless they do something specifically to make it like that. There's nothing in the Xbox One that has more power than the PS4. So that's impossible to do unless something goes wrong. That's like if my PC is more powerful than your PC, yeah, maybe you might be able to run a game better than me because I did something wrong with my software. Something happened. Something's holding back my PC from playing the game. But it's not the hardware. It's something that I did software-wise. So maybe that's what they're going here. But I'll prove right now that they were wrong. That's why they're quickly to update what they said. Ubisoft says they did not scale down the game's graphics to accommodate one particular system. Alright, so said we understand how senior producer Vincent blah 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 quotes has been misinterpreted. To set the record straight, we did not lower the specs of Assassin's Creed Unity to account for any one system over the other. So they backtracked because they realized whatever the hell the guy said doesn't even make sense, doesn't even match up. The average person will be like, oh wow, CPU? Really? No, stop. The CPU is not going... The CPU between 1.75 and 1.6 is, in real life situations, minimal. Minimal. You're not talking about raising the resolution nor the frame rates. So let's be real, Ubisoft. Let's be real. You guys are so close. Right there. You're right next to EA. You're almost there being the worst company. You're right there. This is why I'm not buying this game. I just don't trust the company anymore. On top of it, I sort of got bored with Assassin's Creed. The last Black Flag, I played it and it was fun, but felt similar to Assassin's Creed 3, it felt similar to that one with the whole boat thing. It just felt like almost the same to me. But let's be real. What's going to happen right now? I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're gonna get pressured by people, and they're gonna end up putting a patch for the PS4 for 1080p, just like day one, just like they did for Black Flag. Now, here's what's going to happen. I have a feeling they're going to do it for both consoles. I think both consoles could reach 1080p. And that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to patch it later on and make it 1080p or do something with it. Obviously, it's not going to be 60 frames per second, but still, they're going to do something to it. I just have a feeling about that. They're covering up something right now, which is kind of funny. Because I guarantee you, even if I got this on PC, Ubisoft throttles that down as well. We saw it in Watch Dogs, So I just think it's funny. The whole thing that they're doing, you got Xbox celebrating, wave the flag, say, oh, we have the better console after all. And then we got the ponies, crying because they call bullshit on this shit too. But then in reality, the PC people are celebrating and say, see, that's why you got a PC. You don't have to worry about this crap. But guess what? Everyone's screwed. The PC one is going to be just as bad because if they made this parody over here, they're going to do the same crap for the PC version. Wait till that comes out and they're going to bottleneck you guys as well. So, to be honest with you, this is all caused by Ubisoft and the way they do things now. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I completely read it as bullshit and pretty much they admitted to it. So I know there's other YouTubers getting in on it, waving their flag, saying this is great, this is awesome. No, just stop. Stop. The resolution thing is not a huge thing until companies like this make it a big thing. Because they clearly are making it a thing, saying that one's holding back the other. No. No, no, no. No, 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 no. But this is Hector from Not Too Nerdy. Let me know what you guys thinking about them. And that's it. See you guys.